Hey guys, welcome back to the next video, and if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH, and today, which I've got running behind me, is the B850 Lightning Phantom Gaming from ASRock. This is a B850 motherboard, so yes, that means AMD Ryzen. Should you buy it? Let's find out, shall we? Okay then guys, well this is the B850i Lightning Wi-Fi motherboard from ASRock. It's Mini-ITX, so we're going to get into what actually comes inside the box. Of course, it does come with SATA cables, it comes with Velcro straps, it does come with the antennas, it does come with all the necessary documentation, it does come with all the quick start guide, it does come with the contact information. It also does come with the M.2 screws. It comes with all the documentation you'd need to find out about this specific motherboard. It'll have all the layout when it comes to like the BIOS inside the manual itself. Okay then, so we're going to go over the layout of the motherboard. Now it does have an 8-layer PCB. It is also does only support dual channel DDR5, but obviously you could run in single channel, but don't. But yeah, that's 128 gig support when it comes to DDR5. Now, as for like the M.2s, it does have one M.2 PCI Gen 5. That is the main one on the board, which is in the front. And then at the rear of the motherboard, it does have one M.2 socket PCI Gen 4. As for the 16 PCI slot that's on the motherboard, it is Gen 5. It does have premium audio with Realtek ALC. It does have individual PCB layers for right and left audio channel. It does have a new mic audio. Now, as for like the socket, it is the latest AM5 socket, which is B850, and it does support 9000, 8000 and 7000 series CPUs. As for like the SATA port, you do get two SATA 3 6 gigabit per second ports. You get 3 fan headers, you get 2 ARGB headers, you do get USB 3, you do get USB Type-C support. It does have quite a packed feature set for this particular motherboard. Then when it comes to taking off like the heatsinks, very easy, just by screws, like there with the M.2. Now as for the phase heatsink, it's 2 screws right at the back, and then the back does have a included heatsink, which is a 10+1+1 power phase, and it does have a heatsink at the front, and we will show you. There is the heatsink right now. It's quite chunky. It's a big, quite heavy chunk of metal, and there the power phases, and then of course the sexy socket, which is all in black. Very nice. But when it comes to the overall aesthetics, it's mwah, it's beautiful. And here comes the peel. Ooh, oh, that was okay. Now, so what about the back I/O? Let's check that one out, shall we? Okay, so when it comes to the I/O, well, the rear does have 2 antennas. It has one HDMI, it has one optical SPDIF output. It does have 2 USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports at 10 gigabit. It does have one USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C port, which is also 10 bit as well, and it also can be used as a display alternative mode support DP 1.4a. It does also have one USB 3.2 Gen 1 port that has 4 USB 2.0 ports. It does have one RJ45 LAN port, one BIOS flashback button, LAN out jack, gold audio jack, and one microphone input jack, gold audio. Now, this specific BIOS, as you can see by here, it does tell you that this is actually an easy. Now, if you go to advanced mode, it goes to a rather old looking type of BIOS. Now, I didn't do anything special for the overall specs of the system. It's just a Ryzen 9 7900. It's got 16 gigs of DDR5, and it's got a 2 terabyte Gen 5 drive with a RX 9060 XT graphics card. Nothing fancy, just something to show you the BIOS. Now, as you can see, it's got game mode, it's got performance boost preset, and what I do like about this, it shows you at the edge below, right there, what these specific settings actually mean, which not all motherboards do. But I will say that this is taking me a little bit of a throwback to the way a BIOS used to look like. Not like this, but similar. So it's got DRAM frequency, it's got profiles, DRAM timings, it's got the voltage for the DRAM, it's got infinity fabric frequency, it's got the voltage for the CPU, it's got, you can save, and also you can do a flash to your own specific BIOS. Then when you go to advanced, then it's got CPU configuration, which is by here. As you can see, that is the CPU I'm running by there. It's 12 cores. It's running at, obviously, by their family. It's 19th according to the and then it says processor model by there. And then it's got by here then micro patch level 1. It's got the AMD by here. It's got P. That is for the generation of ACPI. Then it's got NX mode, which is for a non-execute page protection. It's got that. And that's pretty much it for that. Now, then it's got PCI, which this is where you will enable a resizable bar, which is actually enabled on board, which is quite cool. This is for the RGB, of course. You can change the display priority and stuff like that. And then you've got storage configuration, which you can change it from RAID or from that. And then obviously then you can also do a hot plug as well. It's got NVMe configurations, but there. The USB, it's got this by here. It's got USB configuration. It's got trusted computers, AMD CBS. This will just common options for certain CPU accent, certain options. Got this in, which is graphics features, AMD platform module. It's a BIOS procedure library designed to aid AMD customers quickly implement AMD platform technology. That's quite cool. Then you got AMD overclocking. Now, remember, now I'm just showing you, so this isn't me doing that, but this is where you do like manual overclocking. This is where you'll adjust the frequency as well as the voltage yourself. You can change the throttling, you can change everything that way. Then you've got the DDR then, which is the Infinity Fabric, that's for memory. Then you've got Precision Boost, you've got the voltage controls. Then you've got LN2 mode. Yes, you could LN2 this, I wouldn't particularly want to. But this does have like Killer-NIC 2.5 gigabit Ethernet. And as for that, pretty much there, that's it. Then you got tools then, which by here does a USB. This does support flashback, so that's quite cool. Then you've got hardware, monitor, then it'll tell you the CPU temperature and all that, because it hasn't got many CPU or fan headers. Then it's got security. This is what you do by that. Then boot, as you can see by here, that's where it shows the boot, but there. And that's pretty much it for that. But OC Tweaker will probably be the best one for doing that. I'll be showing like the boost, the presets and stuff. Now, I haven't actually had a go of this because I don't do a lot of overclocking, but it has a lot of different functions, and it does tell you by here in the descriptions what they actually mean. Okay, so when it comes to like the conclusion or the pros and the cons of this motherboard, now some of the pros. Now, I like Mini-ITX form factor. I do like the BIOS. It's very easy to use. It's very good when it comes to navigating to the BIOS. It tells you what all the settings are. Some motherboard vendors don't do that. Some of them do hide them in other settings. So that's very good. I do like that. I like the overall aesthetics of the motherboard. I like that it's got PCI Gen 5. It's got the Gen 5 drive support as well for Gen 5 drives. It's also got the PCI Gen 5, which is obviously for GPUs. Now, yes, it does support 7,000 and 9,000 series CPUs from AMD, which is fantastic. They are backwards compatible, but then again, coming from AM4, which I was previously on, I'm not surprised. AMD have said they're willing to keep this platform going until 2027, so that's fantastic. I like the longevity of AMD at the moment. So it's got enough ports, it's got SATA ports, it's got enough headers on the motherboard, ARGB headers. It's got two M.2 slots, which is fantastic, especially for something that's small. The VRMs, at the moment, currently, the VRM's running a Cinebench load at I did run it for 20 minutes. The highest they went was 67 Celsius. That is actually good for something so small. Now, whether you should buy that or not, that's going to be completely up to you. But seeing as this will be my first ever motherboard review, all I'm going to really tell you is that if you're looking for a Mini-ITX motherboard, I'd start here, because you're getting all the features of any other Mini-ITX motherboard, but you're getting it for a significant cost reduction. Now, something from like ROG, it's gonna be absolutely it's going to be astronomical, the pricing difference. This is £189. Sometimes you can get it on sale for £185. But speaking of discount, if you use this code that pops up here at backtotheoffice.co.uk, you will earn 5% at checkout. So hit the link down below and use my code to get a sweet 5% discount. Now, like I said, some Mini ITX motherboards can get up to like £400-500, ridiculous. Some of them, MSI, ASUS, Gigabyte, they all do them. But I think this is a very good stepping stone, or very good point to start when it comes to Mini ITX. It's definitely worth the money, and this one will be used for Mini ITX case reviews in the future going on my channel. So yeah, look, I hope you at least enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, because I've got a Z890 motherboard, which is an Intel ATX motherboard, coming as well. That's a review. I've got loads of stuff, I got loads of stuff coming, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.